Welcome to the pre-show for the Codex podcast. My name is Tim the Terrible. This beautiful man over here is Sal the Slab Guy. And down below is the curator for the Library of Comics, the Ric Flair of comic books,
Woo!
Uncle Gary himself. Welcome, gentlemen. I know that there are terrible bits of Mother Nature swirling around above your heads, but everything is good.
So far.
Well, right now, we'll see if we're allowed, if we stay in Kansas or not. We'll find out.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, so tornadoes, thunderstorms, heavy rain, and maybe comic book sized hail.
And if Sal starts flying around with his little dog too, then we know we got a problem.
If his lights flicker, then we know it's not him messing with the light switch.
That is right.
Just hold on to your headset and your camera, and wherever you go, just give us a
No,
live
the camera's
report.
going to fall over. It usually does. I'm grabbing some slabs and I'm running.
The whole room will blow away, but that camera's going to be fixed perfectly.
That's right.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a major spectacular spectacle right now. My slabs are swirling around in a big whirlpool of type event. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in the history of the world. Oh, my God. We got a hell of a show for you lined up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go over all this stuff here. Yeah, so Nostalgic 80s. We're reviewing Marvel 1985. This beautiful trade, 6 issues right here. I can't wait to get into this with you guys. On top of that, we got this week's news. We've got the Wolverine Popcorn Bucket, which I'm sure everybody will love.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about Venom the Last Dance trailer, the Giancarlo Esposito Captain America 4 leaked picture, and the passing of Maria di Agrana. If you don't know who she is, she played Greedo in Star Wars A New Hope. We've also got the random panel of the week, Nightwing doing some crashing. The F list is going to be great. Sal knows a little bit about him. I know quite a bit. And Gary, I don't know if you know anything about him, but we'll get into that more. And plus, like I said, a review of Marvel 1985. Before we dive into all that goodness, ladies and gentlemen, let's get some introductions out of the way. Gary, we've got something we want to give to everybody.
Oh, and you're looking at 3 guys that are absolutely dripping with it. Here, here at the Codex station, all the hosts you see in front of you, we have all the socials, and we would love nothing more than to give them to you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Any way you like.
That's
whatever
right.
delivery system you want, baby.
We aim to please. I washed my hair today, even put conditioner in just for you. So there you go. At the Codex station, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite social media platforms, and where we're live streaming right now, please make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow. That is honestly the greatest way that you can help a channel like us get us out there, tell people about it, so we can continue to do this all the time, every time. And also, don't forget that memberships and super chats are also available if that is something you feel like you want to do. Exactly. If you feel like you want to support the channel financially, we would be eternally grateful. It is never expected, but it is always appreciated. So there is that also. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, after the tornado goes away, after the rain has stopped and the comic book sized hail has hit the ground, you need a new t-shirt. thecodexstation.com. Go over there, get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs.
Our tech guy built that site. That's him right there.
He did. His name's Sal, and he built the website.
Lots of effort.
He had a lot of extra time in the morgue when he was just, laying around on the slabs, and he did this.
Speaking of Sal, what do you do when you're not doing Codex stuff there, good sir?
Oh, you can always find me on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner, and on Instagram when Dan allows it as the Slab Guy 77.
There you go. And Uncle Gary, you do stuff outside of Codex too. It's shocking, I know, but what would that be?
Well, I'm a
busy being the
proud part owner of Comic Logic, Loudoun County, Virginia's only comic book store. So if you're in the Northern Virginia area, please come in and see us. We would love to see you. And
Richard.
What's up,
Richard? How you doing, brother? And at Comic Logic, we also do a Facebook Live show on the first 3 Thursdays of every month. The first one is our preview show, which we'll do tomorrow night. And then the second and third Thursday are our show, Comic Logic Presents Ye Grumpy Old Nerds, which is our principal owner, Rob Kalin, and my very bestest friend in the world, Mr. Mike Harbor, who will be a special guest star here tomorrow night for our special show that will also fall on June 6th, 2024, which is the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And to commemorate that, what better character could we have than the one, the only Sergeant Rock tomorrow?
And Easy Company.
Mike Harbor gave me this book. My buddy gave me this today. He had an extra copy, and I didn't have this great, big, wonderful tome of these great Sergeant Rock stories. But Mike will be here. So my best friend will be here talking about Sergeant Rock on the 80th anniversary of D-Day. It's just a small little way where we can pay tribute to something that's so important, but we're in our lane doing it, and we're going to do it with reverence and respect and appreciation for these stories that represented what a lot of the fellows went through, and fighting the good fight. So I'm looking forward to that. So you can see that there. Also want to give some love to the Comic Character of the Day site run by our good buddy Archduke Kevy. He's the reason we all found each other. We were all wandering aimlessly through social media jungle, and then we find
we had no idea where we were going.
No, we find this oasis in the middle of the desert. It's Comic Character of the Day. And on that site, I post the cover of the day. I haven't gotten today's yet, so I'll do it after the podcast. Cover of the day. Dan has a question of the day, random panel of the day. Sal, frequent contributor. Tim, always vigilant, watching, making sure we're giving you the content you deserve. But a lot of love to Archduke Kevy. And Archduke Kevy, that site's blowing up. Look at all the people that have been at it. My goodness.
It's our 1,000th member. And we had the drawing for the 1,000 member giveaway.
That's right.
So he's going to be getting some good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and they chose a character for Comic Character of the Week, too. We're going to keep that a secret for right now until we get closer to announcing what that character will be. But it's one that I guarantee you guys will not be able to think of. I'll tell you this, it's not one of the big two.
It's kind of shocking when you think about it.
Oh, yeah, there we
I
go.
do there?
Oh, hey, look who's here. It's Wes.
Hey, what's up, Rebel Scum?
What's up, Wes?
Rebel Scum. Good to see you, Wes. Good to see you in the chat. All right, gentlemen, let's see here. I think that's enough pre-show. Are you guys ready for the main show?
Let's kick off.
Let's jump in and show some slap. Oh, this wrong show.
Wrong show now.
Look at him.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen,
promoter.
Stick around for 45 seconds. If Sal and Gary don't blow away, we'll have a great show coming up.
Hang on to something.
45 seconds for you. It is going to be awesome. I think it's time for groovy bass tones, don't you guys?
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Everybody grab some real estate.
There you go. Yeah, well, do what you got to do. We'll be back in 45 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm used to hands.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Codex Podcast. This is episode number 113, Nostalgic 80s. My name is Tim the Terrible. This beautiful man over here is Sal the Slab Guy, and down below is the curator of the Library of Comics, the Ric Flair of comic books.
Woo!
Uncle Gary himself. We've got a hell of a show lined up for you tonight. We've got the rundown with this week's hottest news, the random panel of the week, the F list, the review for Marvel 1985, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, let's go ahead and get some business out of the way real quick, just so that way you guys know where you can find us if you're lost. Uncle Gary, we got something we want to give to people. What would that be?
Oh, man. What you see in front of you, all these hosts, we have all the socials, and we would love nothing better than to give them to you.
There you go. Let me fix my eyebrows. Ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever delivery system you want.
At the Codex Station, your favorite social media platform where we're live streaming right now. Please hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow if you enjoy this type of content. And that is honestly the greatest way that you can help a channel like this out. So that way we can continue to do stuff like this all the time, every time for you. And
Come on,
also,
help the channel out.
there you go. And also, don't forget thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thecodexstation.com. All right, we have got some news to go through with you guys, and we are going to get started with the rundown.
The rundown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week's hottest news, we have the Wolverine popcorn bucket that has debuted all across the internet. It is a sensation, to say the least. We've got the Venom, yeah, it absolutely is. Gary, have you seen the Wolverine popcorn bucket yet?
I saw it with a Deadpool one. Aren't they the same theme? Unless this is a different one. Okay,
this is something different.
Okay.
So we'll be showing that here in a second. We've got Venom The Last Dance trailer that just dropped a couple of days ago. Sal and I have seen that. Gary has not, so we're going to
I haven't watched Venom The First Dance, so, you know.
Wes says, like the shirt, Tim. Thank you, Wes. I like the shirt, too. And
Wes, what about this one, Wes? Come on, man.
Ooh, Twilight Zone.
Hey, Litho. What's up, buddy?
And Litho's here. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. All right. But Venom The Last Dance trailer, we're going to go over that. We've got a spoiler picture for Giancarlo Esposito on the set of Captain America 4. We're going to do some speculation as to who he might be. And we'll go ahead and start with this. The unfortunate passing of Maria D. Aragon from Star Wars A New Hope. She played the role of Greedo. So let's go ahead and go over that real quick. I do not want to continue with ads. This is from comicbook.com, ladies and gentlemen. This was written by Charlie Ridgely, I'm sorry. And this says Maria D. Aragon, original Star Wars Greedo actress, passes away at 81 years old. The actress behind Greedo in Star Wars, Maria D. Aragon, has passed away. He goes on to say an important force in creating one of the most iconic scenes in all of Star Wars had sadly passed away. Actress Maria D. Aragon was behind the mask of Greedo in George Lucas' original Star Wars film in 1977. She and Harrison Ford combined to do the infamous Han shoots Greedo sequence that has become the subject of much change and debate over the years. She passed away at the wonderful, beautiful age of 81 of natural causes.
It wasn't a gunfight?
It was not. Han did not
shot first. Yeah, he shot first.
We've all seen Star Wars, right?
I think so.
Let's end the debate now. Who shot first, Han or Greedo?
I saw it originally in the theater in 1977, and Han shot.
There you go. I was watching the original trilogy before the special edition. Han shot first.
It got monkeyed with, didn't it?
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a different opinion in the chat, please let us know. Gary, show your shirt again. The Twilight Zone. This is what Wes says about it. He says it's okay, I guess. Gary.
Oh, God. Wes.
Deb's fight words.
Wes, just when I think that you're number one, I got to take you back to what letter is he on the F list for saying that? Twilight Zone, my favorite show of all time, one of the most influential shows of all time.
Let me guess, Wes, you're an Outer Limits guy.
Yeah, but well, you know what? Maybe he's just not liking the shirt, and it's not the show. Wes, do you want to see what's under the shirt? Would that do better for you?
Maybe that was show the guns.
The jungle. You want to see you want to run through the jungle, Wes?
Ladies and gentlemen,
run through that jungle, baby.
This is a family show.
Jungle there, baby.
Oh my God!
He wants to be greased down in honey and run through that jungle.
Wes, well, now body that the shirt includes that I'm interested in. Oh God.
Well, Wes, I can't fault your taste there. So there you go.
Speaking of including the body, let's go ahead and just do this right now. Gary, are you ready for the Wolverine popcorn bucket?
Let's do this.
There you
I
go.
have not seen this. Here we go. Wow. Okay. So I saw a bucket earlier that was kind of like that, where the mouth wasn't so wide. It looked like popcorn was vomiting out of it with him and Deadpool. But this one looks even bigger. Okay.
Oh my God. I love the addition of the tongue at the bottom. That is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn buckets. Oh my God.
So if he eats or drinks something scalding, I guess the tongue will just heal itself.
That's true.
That's true.
Absolutely. 110%. Wolverine even looks angry there.
Yeah, wow. That's you know what? I guess that's every dentist's dream, to have that kind of a workspace,
Yeah.
Don't gum me to death, Logan.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my Lord.
Adamantium teeth would be bad, wouldn't it?
Oh my God. Let's see here. Chat's got some response.
I saw a stupid discussion
absolutely
on another board that said, why isn't Wolverine's teeth covered in adamantium? Aren't your teeth bones?
Oh, well, yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna pass on this conversation right now.
I've been seeing some great memes with that bucket in them. That's fantastic.
You know what? I think the teeth are a little bit different though, with the enamels. It's not quite bone. It's not quite bone.
Well, we know this isn't comic accurate because he doesn't have teeth. So
his dentures. Well, he didn't have his dentures in.
That's very true.
Because Wolverine's kind of old.
Yeah. He's what, over 100 now?
Yeah, he's over 100. He's got
something like that.
His polydent slipped.
Oh my God!
He can't.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, he can't eat popcorn with his dentures in. That's one of the things he's got to remove them for, and he's just got to gum them.
Oh my Lord!
So so Wolverine with that face and that bucket might have been really popular with what Dick Grayson swung in on. So,
my Lord! We'll be seeing more of that later. Yeah. Speaking of swinging in, let's go ahead and dive right into the Giancarlo Esposito leak. Him on the set of Captain America 4. So, ladies and gentlemen, to preface,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is going to be heavy spoilers. If you don't want to see the picture that I am about to show, and I'll give you a 3-second countdown after I'm done talking.
He's not going to.
Just close your eyes. Go like this. So that way, like that right there. Exactly. All right. 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. All right.
Oh, too late.
There we go.
There's a GMC truck in it?
I know, it's crazy. It's a transformer. All right,
one is
so
Carlo?
the one on the right.
Yeah, because I see Gene and I see Carlo. Yeah.
So obviously this picture is by Christopher Oquendo from ophotography.com. So I have heard several people make speculation remarks as to who he could be, and the 3 that I have heard are completely wrong. One would be Dr. Doom. That is not Dr. Doom. The other would be Mephisto. That is not Mephisto. And the third was Professor X, and that is most certainly not Professor X.
No.
I did hear. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
I heard somebody else too.
If what he's wearing is fetish gear, it might be Mephisto.
Ooh, that could be.
Because get Mephistoed when you're wearing that.
Yeah. Now, Sal, what were you going to say?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry, Sal. I put you in another place. I apologize.
Sorry.
Okay. I heard 2 possible characters he could be playing, and both of these make sense. The first one is G.W. Bridge, and the second is Dr. Faustus. Now, he says he's playing a villain, and it's nobody that we would guess, but the villain is going to be branching off into a television show. So G.W. Bridge isn't a villain. So Dr. Faustus, what do you guys think?
That outfit doesn't make me think Faustus.
What's it make you think?
That makes me think Bridge.
Bridge. Yeah, that was my first thought too. Was GW Bridge.
Yep.
Sal?
Unless
Yeah,
that's
I
just
can
his
see-
casual wear behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I can see the Bridge, GW Bridge. I also read somewhere that they thought he'd be Stryker, William Stryker.
Stryker, that is a possibility.
Oh, I could see that. Yep.
Because I mean, every role that has been in any Fox movie is getting recast, anyways.
Yeah,
So,
that doesn't. Faustus, you would think that they'd go with the beard and the glass,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he has glasses, but that it doesn't. That doesn't seem like what they would do with Faustus.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's got to be a military themed character.
That's
Yeah.
what I think too. So Stryker is a good possibility. GW Bridge is kind of more what I'm leaning towards, but who knows? Okay, let's see here. Last thing on the list, Venom: The Last Dance. So Sal, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the trailer, it is out on YouTube now. It's about 2.5 minutes long. Go
Yep.
check it out. Sal, what are your thoughts, man?
Okay, so I've seen all the Venom movies, and
Mhm.
and they're not Oscar worthy. They're
No.
not, oh my God, this is amazing, life changing.
No.
Were they horrible? No, they weren't
Yes.
horrible either. They were.
The
they were
second
decent
one
movies.
was total dog shit.
Okay, moving on. This is total dog shit. It wasn't completely horrible.
It wasn't that good either.
Well, I mean, I liked Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. I
Yeah.
think he plays him very well. I thought, I really thought that who played Carnage?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. I thought he would be an excellent Carnage from the tease they gave me from the first one, but
Mhm.
they kind of went nowhere with him, and I
Yeah.
didn't feel like that was a good connection in that one. It was not a great movie, okay, but you got to see a lot of symbiote action, which was cool.
Mhm.
So now watching this trailer, it looks like it appears a lot more symbiotes are coming to Earth.
Yeah.
They show you a little preview of like what looks to be like meteorites hitting the Earth,
Yeah.
but it looks like it's more symbiotes hitting the Earth, and you're given the impression this is the last of the movie in this installment. There's not going to be any more Venoms after this,
Yeah.
and this is like going to be their last stand
Yeah.
type of situation.
Do you think
So-
it's they're taking elements from the King in Black storyline?
Possibly on that. I'm going to rewatch the trailer again, but I didn't feel that, but I think they should tell you the truth. But I did not feel that in the oh gosh.
Our very
Thanks,
own
Dan,
Dan
Dan,
says,
Dan Kelly.
first Venom sucked, didn't bother to see the second one. It was a huge mistake to try and make Venom independent of Spider-Man. I agree with that.
I do too.
That brings in that piece of the trailer where they show them putting the cup over that little tiny bit that was left behind in the MCU.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see
who
where
knows where
that
that
goes.
goes.
Yeah.
Will Hardy be in the third one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. So it looks like there's a lot more action centric, I think.
Yeah.
Unless that's all the action in the whole movie, that would be terrible. But it looks a lot more action centric, and so hopefully this has a little bit of a better of a story plot to it, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure we're gonna get another trailer coming.
I like the first one enough. Greg says I thought the first film was forgettable, and I wish I could forget the second. So like you say, Sal, the first one was nothing to write home about. It was solid. Like I would give it on the Codex scale, I'd give it a 6.5. Right?
I was going to say 5.5 to 6, maybe.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. Does it reinvent the wheel? No.
I didn't see it, so I can't comment. But I tell you
You're
what,
not missing anything.
Do you want to know a good Tom Hardy trailer that might be a hell of a movie?
Sure.
That I've seen, The Bike Riders.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and it's a motorcycle gang. In the
Venom 3 is already forgettable, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about something else.
I think it's late 50s, early 60s. Austin Butler from Elvis is in it. It's really good, but it looks like a motorcycle gang movie, and I think the Wild Ones with a modern take on it. So
right on.
Anyway, Hardy looks great in it, and I think it's set in the Chicago area, I think, or outside of Chicago. So
there we go.
Right, Tom Hardy. Great.
But this movie, it's the Bike Riders looks great. Dan says,
yeah.
This one, the trailer, it looked okay to me.
Right.
I'm not overly excited for it. Will I go see it? Probably.
More than likely, I will.
Yeah, I'll go. I went and saw Venom 2, and I hated that fucking movie.
So you're not overly excited. How many chubs is that on the scale?
It's probably a low seeing a hot grandma chub kind of thing. Yeah. It's like, oh,
we've taken a turn. I'm sorry. This is the podcast, so I'm supposed to be much better. I apologize. There
we go. Yeah, something like that. You know, the ones that you have to roll back up, that kind of thing. But yeah, beer goggles for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'll go see it, but I'm not super excited about it.
I wouldn't say I'm expecting much. I'll go see it and be not expecting much at all.
I can't wait for Sony to be done with Marvel movies completely.
I agree, because there's another Sony movie that was just absolutely horrible that I watched, and
terrible. Look, I know how it feels. Look, Aquaman, my favorite character. I went and saw the second Aquaman movie knowing it was going to be bad.
Oh, it was terrible.
And I liked the first one enough. And it probably benefited that I had low expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised. But the second one was just bad.
Yeah, it was not that good.
Yeah, not good at all.
Really?
Okay. Did you like it?
I actually found it enjoyable.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sal's got to go. He's got a tornado warning.
That's right. I got a tornado. I'm out of here. You know.
Dan says beer goggles aren't enough. You'll need heroin goggles. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
The second Aquaman, Gary, I went in there with incredibly low expectations, and I was very disappointed. I went with my brother-in-law, and after we got done watching the movie, we both kind of looked at each other and was like, "What the fuck was this?"
Yeah, just.
But the first one was great. I thought
the first one was very good.
Yeah, I like the first one too.
Jason Momoa as Aquaman, I think he did a wonderful job.
I thought the portrayal of the underwater kingdoms was really cool. You know,
Ocean Master looked great. Black Manta looked wonderful. Everything looked good. And the second one, they just shit the bed.
Yeah, I agree.
But that covers the rundown, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to our random panel of the week. Now, I'm going to throw this up there. And I guess this is something. Yeah. I guess this is something that Batman has taught Nightwing. But here we go.
Nightwing.
Can I call the
go right ahead, homie. It's all you.
Okay. Okay. We see this Nightwing's crashing into looks like a condo with
a high-rise apartment.
Did you say a condom?
A condo with two lovers going at it, and I call this the double cock block move.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
Oh my God.
Because
I was apprehensive about putting this up to begin with. And Sal, you just took the reins and was like, I'll be back.
Yeah, well.
Apparently I've got to make up for my love of Aquaman 2 and Venom 3, you know? So I have to say something.
That's good.
Oh, Lord. There we go. Lithograph of...
There we go.
And look, there are a couple cheaters, too.
Oh, my God.
They're cheating. And
they are.
Are they married? Women? Are they married to men or women?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because he says, I wish we were married. And then the other gentleman says, you mean to each other?
Yeah, so they may be married to other men, but maybe they're married to other women. So what do we think? You know,
either way, if they're cheaters, then Nightwing did a service. That's
right.
Well, Nightwing, and so you just added a third dick into the mix.
There you go.
Looks like Nightwing's got somebody on his motorcycle.
So oh my God! Dan says
sausage party.
You even need a condom when Nightwing cock blocks like that. Wow. Way to go, Nightwing. I thought you were my wingman.
Is Nightwing bringing another dude, or is he bringing a chick into the party?
He is bringing a motorcycle in.
That's a dude.
There's a dude with him on there, I think.
Oh, there is somebody on the bike with him.
Why is the dude in his crotch? Why is the dude's head buried in Nightwing's crotch?
Because he's terrified.
Because he's Nightwing. Wouldn't you be there too?
Yeah. Is that your nightstick, or are you just happy to see me?
See me, yeah.
Yes.
Is that your baton?
Yes, that's
Nightwing's
your
Fighting
baton.
stick?
Yeah.
Nightwing's greatest asset, ladies and gentlemen, is his ass.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the ladies say that, but equal time.
Hey, it's all good.
Oh my God! We are a bunch of degenerates. That's what we are. We love dick and fart jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you ever doubt that?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
When was that?
Just time for Pride Month. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Keith.
Oh my God.
Hey, Mr. Keith chimed in there.
Hey Keith, good to see you. Just in time for Pride Month.
And
this shows that the Codex Station is happening on the beat. That's right. Type of show.
Stay on the beat. Okay.
On the beat.
On the beat.
I don't know how else to phrase it.
And look, as Seinfeld and them said, not that there's anything wrong with that, right?
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
By the way, to everybody celebrating Pride Month, be who you are, love who you are, and love who you want to love. We here at the Codex Station love everybody, and we could give a shit less what you choose to do in your own personal time. As long as you're a good person, we don't care.
That's all we care about.
Listen, I'm worried about people that hate one another.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about people who love one another at all.
That's right.
That is your business. That's your business.
That's
all day, all night long.
So be loud, be proud. Happy Pride Month, ladies and gentlemen.
I agree.
Here at the Codex Station.
Here.
You.
And collect some slabs while you're at it.
Yeah, and Gary, do some push-ups too.
Do some push-ups, make you strong, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get tonight's sponsor out of the way. And that would be none other than W Energy. W Energy, ladies and gentlemen. Sal enjoys it very much. Jamie enjoys it very much. I have had it. It is delicious. And we want you guys to enjoy it too. So
are we talking about Pride Month again, or are we talking about our energy drink?
Energy drink.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So head over to w.gg, ladies and gentlemen. Save 10% on your order using keyword code -X at checkout. Sal, do you want to give a little bit of rundown on why you enjoy W so much?
Sure. I liked it because it is not one of those foul tasting type of energy drinks. There's no bad aftertaste. There's no jitters, and there's no sugar crash afterwards. They have really good flavors too. The flavors on a lot of these other energy drinks are hot garbage.
From my understanding, they mix well too, right?
Oh, yes, they do. Worse than what people think of Venom 2. Worse than what people think of Venom 2. Some of those other energy drinks.
Or Aquaman 2.
Or Aquaman 2. Right. So I have mixed a few flavors. I have mixed a few flavors with some certain adult beverage drinks, and it's very good. It's very good.
So you put it in your Slurpee?
Maybe.
You put it in your Slurpee?
Maybe put it in a nightcap.
So Dan got cherry limeade, but when he ordered it, it actually showed up with 2, and he gave me one of the tubs cherry limeade. It's really good. Yeah, I used to order the strawberry banana mix, but they canceled the mix, but now they have the can, and I just ordered the can. So I'm waiting for that to come out to see how that will.
There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, use the keyword code -X at checkout so you can save 10%. W.gg, ladies and gentlemen.
Do it.
All right, let's get into tonight's F-lister. How about it?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that every time. All right, so tonight's F-lister, ladies and gentlemen, Gary has next to no knowledge about this guy, but Sal and I do. So, Gary, I'm just going to put these pictures up and kind of let you guess.
All right. And this is typeface, right?
Yes, typeface, ladies and gentlemen. He says here, we'll find them just as we've found each other, and we'll go on. You can't steal freedom from somebody's heart, Miss Floyd. Then we've got this one here. Who the hell are you, man? I'm your worst nightmare. My worst nightmare has to do with a butter knife, a shoe, and a pair of pygmy rats. The second worst. Oh my God. Sonny picked these pictures.
Well,
then we've got this be wary turncoat for as that immortal bard wrote, vengeance is in my heart, Death is in my hand, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. Sure, Granddad, whatever. Take heed, urchins, for it is typeface you face this night. Then we
small font.
Who? What?
Small font.
Yeah, there you go. Do you hear me, you purveyors of poisonous rhetoric?
Wow.
Up close and personal.
Wow.
Then we've got this glorious thing. Sleep well, my friend, and dream of spider things. Tomorrow will be another day, and a momentous one at that. Let's see here.
Is he like Ariel Bold?
Your fight is not mine, Spider-Man. I have other fish to fry, and fry them I shall. Big fish, rich and powerful ones. And that's it.
Wow.
All right, Gary. So, have at it, homie. What do you got?
Okay, I think I know why. This is close to. Wow, that's disturbing. Sonny's heart.
Very. Thanks, Sonny.
That's very disturbing. So, this fella grew up in the Chicago area, just like Sonny did, and his name is Sidney Letterman. So, Sidney Letterman, and he always fancied himself as a big shot writer, and he decided he would go to the Chicago area school, Northwestern, and he goes to Northwestern, which is very famous for journalism degrees, and he was going to get a journalism degree at Northwestern, and he decided to do a scathing expose on the city pound and how they were wasting money that could have been used to help animals and things like that for the city shelter. But when the expose was printed, they found out that he had made up nothing but lies, and that his stories were fake and they were false, and he tried to make them sensationalistic, and he got booted out of Northwestern, and then he couldn't even go to Chicago Community College because his reputation was so tainted, and it left him bitter, and he likes to fight crime with his vocabulary, and thinks he's really special and better than all the people that he attacks, and he uses the letters, but he's just a bitter, bounced out of journalism school, piece of crap, liar, rejecter of and that's his story.
Wow. Okay.
And that artwork is horrible too.
It is atrocious.
Well, look, and that is his artwork, because not only did he write lies, he drew his own stories, and he was bad at that.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Okay, so this is from the always on point, very accurate Wikipedia. I know Sonny reads for Marvel Fandom, but I'm going to take it a step further and go deep dive. So Typeface. Gordon Thomas, better known as Typeface, is a fictional character appearing in the American comic books published by Marvel Comics. His first appearance is in Peter Parker Spider-Man Volume 2, number 23 from November of 2000, and he was created by Paul Jenkins and Mark Buckingham. I am only going to go into a little bit of this like Sonny does. Well, Sonny goes way into it, but I'm going to go a little bit. So this is according to Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen, so take it as you will. What little is known about Typeface's past is seen in a flashback. In his civilian life as Gordon Thomas, he fights in an unknown war for the U.S. Army in which he loses his brother Joey. Upon his return to America, Gordon's wife leaves him and takes their son with her. That is the start of supervillain origins. Feeling outcast, Gordon becomes a signsmith. He is happy for a time until a man named George Finch buys the company he is working for, Ace Signs, and Gordon is laid off. Gordon starts to hate everything that went wrong in his life and decides to become a supervillain, calling himself Typeface. Well, I was right. He uses a greased pencil to write letters on his face, including a large red R on his forehead for retribution. He begins committing vandalism throughout the city, and while attacking local thugs, he catches the attention of Spider-Man. Typeface uses his giant letters as weapons and manages to defeat the web slinger. After successfully escaping and returning to his apartment, he replaces the R letter on his head with an A for annihilation. Thomas later excuse me, later seeks revenge against George Finch, but is stopped by Spider-Man. Typeface wants to kill Spider-Man for intervening, but when he sees the web slinger being attacked by the spider hybrid, he has a flashback to the words his brother Joey once gave him. Just live, man. Typeface decides to help Spider-Man defeat Spider Hybrid and renounces his desire to kill Finch. However, Finch decides to exact revenge on Typeface for humiliating him and finds the remote to the bombs Thomas would have used to kill him. They didn't mention that before. Finch sets them off and demolishes an entire building, and for a time it was believed that Typeface died in an explosion. So there
What issue? What issue was this first one?
uh
Spider-Man, what, 23?
yeah, Spider-Man 23. Adjective
All right.
Spider-Man.
I sent it to you. I have that issue.
I think I have that as well.
I know.
I sent you a picture of it.
You got the cover up?
I hold on. I sent it to you in chat. I sent it to you.
I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will go ahead and take a look at this cover here and see the gloriousness that is Typeface's. Ooh, that's a nice cover. All right, so hang on 2 seconds. Yeah, so thoughts, Sal and Gary, on Typeface.
I like my origin better.
Forgettable is Aquaman 2, apparently.
Oh my God. Lithograph says dude literally uses letter bombs as weapons. Oh my Lord. All right.
This is how forgettable of a character he is. I didn't even remember him. When you put him up, I was like, and then I was scrolling through the pictures. I'm like, he was in a Spider-Man book?
I know, that's exactly what I did. I was like, I don't even remember him in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So here's the cover, ladies and gentlemen, of Typeface's first appearance. Typeface.
Wow.
There you go.
Look, he was such a lame character, they couldn't even show him on the cover.
Exactly. All right.
He didn't even stick around for another issue because he's not in 24 either.
Nope. And I don't know. Apparently he died, and then there's a possible resurgence. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him in Secret Wars.
Who knows? Who cares?
He'll come back as like Ariel Font, or he'll come back
something
as
like that.
Well, the whole part of this, the most disappointing part of this is he actually beat Spider-Man at one point.
It looks like it.
He defeated Spider-Man. I'm very disappointed in Peter Parker.
Well, with that being said, do you think that Typeface stays on the F list, or does he go up?
He stays on the F list, and Spider-Man goes down to the B list.
Oh,
ouch!
Sal.
Ouch!
Sal, what do you think, man?
Oh, he's definitely staying on the F list for sure. There's no way he makes it out of the F list.
Spider-Man is demoted to the B list for 2 weeks for this, or no, for a month until the next issue comes out. Spider-Man is on the B list.
I'm sure
he's got to feel guilty for at least 2 weeks.
He's in the penalty box.
Penalty
he has to go to the penalty box.
There we go.
Yep.
Let's see here. Lithograph says, I remember picking that book up new. It's only 10 issues before the awesome maybe next year issue I mentioned on Comic Character. There we go.
There you go. So Spider-Man, who a few weeks ago we talked about when he beat Juggernaut, loses the Typeface. Come on, man.
He just had an off day that day.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna keep Typeface on the F list, maybe the D list for giving Spider-Man the business, but that is about it. Typeface gave Spidey an L.
There you go. Very
good. My
God. The L, baby.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Typeface is this week's the F list. Sal and Gary both think that he deserves to stay there. I think he could go to the D list. He needs the good D. But Spider-Man gets demoted to the B list for a week.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and he could use the break. So
yeah. There's no way he does not get punished for losing to a loser like that. That's
there
right.
you go. Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Typeface.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right. Thank you so much for enjoying this week's episode of the Codex Podcast. We are at the review section right now, and this is one I'm super excited to get into. So I chose this last week. This is Marvel 1985, and we are going to deep dive into this here in just a moment. So the credits for Marvel 1985 go as follows: written by Mark Millar, artwork that includes pencils, inks, and colors go to Tommy Lee Edwards, and letters to John Workman. So, to give a rundown of what this story is, and we really don't need to say too much about it, because if you go into it too far, it gives a whole lot away. So basically, you have the real world that this boy Toby lives in, right? And his mom and dad are divorced, and he lives with his mom. He's not happy with his stepdad. He feels, very left out and jealous in a way, hurt, and all of that stuff. Is a lot of kids that go through divorce too. But his dad is what was the way they called him? A lazy genius. Like he could be the greatest rock star in the world, or he could be really good at this, but he chooses to not do anything. But Toby loves his dad. That's all that matters. It's 1985. The story starts out with a guy at the local comic store, the person that runs it, talking about the Secret Wars issue number 10, I believe, where the Beyonder and Doctor Doom are duking it out, and Doctor Doom eventually beats the Beyonder. Toby is all enthralled by this. He thinks it is the coolest thing in the world. Starts picking up these issues and things, and it goes on to Toby's life. And his dad comes to get him for one of their visits, and they go for a walk. His dad had to let his car go, needed some extra money, that kind of thing, right down on his luck. And as they're going to walk, they make their way to this place that his dad used to hang out at with his buddy Wyndham, I believe is the last name.
Mm-hmm.
And when his buddy Wyndham had an accident when they were younger. He's in an assisted living home now, and the house has been empty for years. But come to find out, when they get there, they see that some new people are moving in, and it's this really short, portly looking guy with these big black glasses on. And the dad's talking to him. They found all these old comic books in the attic, and they said, "Hey, kid, if you like the comics, take them. Otherwise, they're going to end up in the trash." And it's Gary. It's Avengers #1. It's Hulk #1.
It's Gary's collection.
It's
my collection. Yeah.
It's Gary's collection. It's all the old Silver Age stuff, the beginnings of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And all of that jazz. And Toby's like, "Well, we can't take these from you. I mean, they'd be stealing, right? Here, take them to the comic shop. They'll give you money." They ended up giving him $80 for it, and then selling them for $1,000 a piece in their shop. But anyways, as Toby's standing there digging through the books, his dad is talking to him, and Toby notices something in the house, and for a panel, it looks like the Red Skull. And Toby's like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." And when he turns around and looks back, he's gone. And the little portly guy with the big black glasses, Toby recognizes him, but can't quite put his finger on where he sees him from. And we'll kind of leave it at that. I'm going to dive into this, if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
The whole premise of the book is this is the biggest what if in comic books. What if Marvel heroes and villains came into the real world? And it is done so well. Right out of the bat, I'm going to tell you, this is a 10 out of 10 for me, all the way from start to finish. I absolutely love this story. This is Stranger Things and all of that stuff, those type of shows and comic books before Stranger Things even came out. It's got that type of feel to it. When I read this, I found my copy in a discounted trades bin for $5. Yanked it out. My kids were little at the time, and I can remember sitting in a line to pick up my stepkids at the time from school, and I sat there in an hour and a half and read all 6 issues and fell in love with it. And when I got home, I read it again. The Mark Millar's writing is wonderful. The entire story flows like a television show. There is a lot of emotion. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of action and some incredibly memorable scenes, like the scene where Galactus comes in and you start seeing these things just flying through the air, and Toby's mom and dad, who are divorced, but his dad goes to save her because she stayed in the house waiting for Toby to come back. They're driving and they see all this debris and stuff just start flying and forming into these pieces, and she goes, "What the hell is that?" And he goes, "Oh no." And you just turn around and you see the silhouette of Galactus. In the last page on issue 5, he says, "I hunger." Oh, it still brings goosebumps to me every time I think about it. The artwork by Tommy Lee Edwards. Usually I'm not a big fan of this sketch type artwork, but it
same.
really fits incredibly well here. And from panel 1, like where it shows Stan Lee and Jack Kirby sitting at the table, and it says, in 1961, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created the Marvel Universe, or so they thought. So amazing. I can't recommend this enough. Tommy Lee Edwards artwork from pencils, inks, and colors. He did a wonderful job. His style of artwork fit incredibly well with the story. The action was very rushed to the point, right, where it looks all scattered and stuff, and it's incredibly fast paced. But the parts that are slowed down look really, really well too. And you just get immersed in both the writing and the visuals for this type of story. And this is a story that I would recommend to anybody to read if you've never read it before. It's 6 issues. Won't take you long to read it, but I think that it would become one of your favorites like it has become mine. So once again, 10 out of 10 all the way across the board. I love this story, and I want you guys to love it as much as I do. Gary, what about you, man? What do you think?
Well, first I want to do this, and please don't take any insult by this.
Not at all.
Did you identify with the father character?
So that's interesting you say that. So when I first read it, I identified with Toby right away because I come from a family that was divorced. My mom and dad were divorced. And at the time when I was married, I didn't relate to the dad so much as I do now.
Okay.
And the reason why I relate to the dad now is because I, as a father, have been through divorce, and my kids have been through that. And every time I read this book, I see my son Ethan and Toby, and I see me in Gary, the dad. I've been called things that Toby's dad has been called before, right? A lazy genius, that kind of thing, who could be great at a bunch of things, but chooses not to, and instead sits on the couch and eats potato chips. I've been accused of that. I've done that myself. But Gary was a great guy. He's a nice guy. He loved his kid. And his kid was the only thing that mattered to him. And I relate more to the father now than I do to Toby. But since my son has grown up, I see Ethan in Toby every time I read this story.
Well, that's what I felt when I was reading it, but not the aspects of where he's a lazy genius. More that you're a devoted dad, you love your son, you're a musician, and you love comics. And Gary, the dad, was just a really good guy. So I saw you a lot in this story when I read it. And again, it's interesting, and I don't mean any insult by that.
No, it's flattering that you would put me, that's the person you attributed Gary to.
Because I thought about that, and again, not so much the negative aspects of his life, the positive stuff in his life. That's how I thought of you.
No, that's an incredible compliment, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, and so that's what I was thinking when I was reading that. Now, here's what blows my mind. Now, as many books as I have, I don't even remember this series. I don't remember at all. I didn't buy any of the issues. I had to read it on the site where you all said you go read comics, and I couldn't turn the pages fast enough.
I think this flew under the radar when it came.
Yeah, it was really something. Millar's writing was very good. I guess one thing that doesn't make sense to me, just a small thing, is why were the people in the house trying to get rid of the comic books?
So the Marvel villains that showed up, all of that is an autobiography to them.
Okay, so that, but okay, it's an autobiography on maybe how to defeat them, and also why are you going to put it out there and send it to a comic shop where people can go purchase it? Why won't you keep it hidden in the house where people can't see it?
Well, see, because if you remember what Mole Man said to the Red Skull, he's like, they have no heroes here. They have nobody. They know nothing about this. The master said we could do whatever we wanted as long as we do what he wants done, and then after that, the whole world is ours, and they can't stop us.
Well, so I just didn't understand why that. Now I do know that the comics being moved out of the house was a very important plot device toward the end, as a motivating factor for somebody. So I do know that, but I didn't understand why they're trying to get rid of the books. But that was just a small thing.
Yeah.
I thought the writing was interesting. The Marvel here villains bleeding over into the real world.
Eduardo made you look. Loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was very. I mean, I thought it was so quick that maybe it should have been an 8-issue series, because, especially when Toby goes back to maybe try to enlist help. That happened just so quickly, right? So that happened like feeling like, damn, that he just got there. But I really liked it. I think the writing on this by Millar, I'm going to give it, out of 10, I'm going to give the writing a 9.8. I really, really, really loved it. Like you, that is not my favorite style of art, but I do think it fit the story quite well. And so for that, I think I give the art a 9.3, because it fit the story too well. Because it's not really my style of art, the scratchy, kind of rough, kind of sketchy stuff. But I thought it really, really fit the story well. So overall, I'm giving it a 9.5, which is very high, high praise. I really enjoyed it. Again, blown away that I'd never even heard of this series or never even thought about it.
I'm very glad that you love this.
I really did, and it just, man, it was
all the single issues. I just got them not too long ago. I hadn't had them for the longest time, and I found the Marvel must-haves that had issues 1 through 3 in it. Got it for $1. And then I found all 6 A covers in the dollar bin at McKay's.
Yeah, well, this is an A++ story. So I mean, it's great comic, a lot of fun, very inventive, and again, you're just blowing through it because you want to see how, well, shit, what happens now. So this is also a comic where I think it benefited from reading it all at once.
Yes,
I think we lose something. One of the great benefits of trades is reading them all at once, and and not having that month lag where you might have forgotten a small little nuance.
See, and now, Gary, when you go back to Comic Logic, you can say, hey, order this for me.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it's in print.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I will, when I see that in Wild or whatever, I will certainly pick it up. I mean, I was very impressed with it. I can't believe I didn't know about it. So, oh yeah, kudos. That was a great choice. I'm glad you picked it. And again, 9.5 out of 10. That's way up there. That is a high grade.
That is fantastic. All right, Sal, the floor is yours, man. How did you feel about Marvel 1985?
I actually enjoyed it very much. Like Gary, I think this flew under the radar. I didn't really know about it until I read this online, and I'm like, wow, how did this sneak by everybody? But I think it's that whole, it came out every month type of situation, so I don't think it actually had any traction. I don't care for the artwork, although the artwork got better as it got towards issue 6. So,
was it more like getting used to it as the issues went on?
It might have been different. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It felt different to me. It felt different to me. But maybe it wasn't getting used to it type situation.
Yeah. But sometimes too, when you get enthralled in a story, I think it puts you there sometimes, and I get
maybe so.
I know, me personally, I get less critical when I'm really drawn into the story more.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe the inkers are different. I don't know if it was any.
Nope. Tommy Lee Edwards did the pencils, inks, and colors for this.
Okay, I don't know. It just looks different to me, but maybe I just got used to it. So let's go with that.
Maybe it got better when he was doing the more heroes and more villains, and not just regular people.
Maybe so.
Well, what are the rest of your thoughts on this story?
So I thoroughly enjoyed this story. This was a great story. When the kid pulls the heroes into the real world to fight the villains. There's one epic panel shot where you see the kid with like all the Avengers, Spider-Man, and all the X-Men, and they're just all right there. And he gives the Avengers Assemble call out.
Yes, he does.
And he's like, "Sorry, Cap, I couldn't resist it."
What?
Cap was like, had that smirk on his face.
Yeah,
right. And so I liked it. It was very good. It was I thought it was well written and it flowed perfectly. Could it have been more issues? Definitely.
Yeah.
I think 6 was a good number for it though, but it definitely could have gone for a little bit more for me.
Yeah. So what's your rating, man? What do you think? Well, out of 10?
I think I'm gonna go with Uncle Gary and give it a 9.5.
Ooh, right on.
Okay.
Good rating.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sal gives us a 9.5 out of 10. Gary gives us a 9.5 out of 10. I give this a 10 out of 10. I think it's safe to say that this is highly recommended by us here at Codex, and we would love for you guys to check this out as well. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed this. This is one of those stories that you hold near and dear to your heart, and you kind of keep it there. And when you show people, you're like, be gentle.
So did you see Richard's comment?
Yeah, I'm going to bring that up as soon as we're all done talking about this.
All right, very good. Go ahead. Gary,
go ahead.
I was going to say, Tim, and I think you hold it near and dear to your heart because I think, that's why I had to ask you, do you identify with the father? And then to find out you identified with the kid first, and now you're identifying with the father. So it's got a double hold on you. Yeah. And so, again, one of the things when I read it, I just thought of you in that role as Gary on that. And I just thought, I said, this is what Tim's seeing, but it's what you're seeing now, not what you're seeing back then. Yeah.
Richard, did you buy it just now because of this review? Is that the case, or let me know, please? I'm very curious about that. And when you get it in the mail and you read that the next time you're in the chat after you've read it, please let us know what you thought of that.
Okay, so you're curious whether or not he just purchased this, right?
Yeah, because while we were talking,
because you're bi-curious.
That is exactly
curious.
Yes, I'm BY.
What could be better during Pride Month?
Richard, Gary, Richard,
you're
gonna love this, man.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the connection.
Oh my God, Richard, you're gonna love this, dude. As soon as you're done reading it, please. Ooh, you got the villains cover. That's wonderful. What I'm showing here, this right here is the A cover for the trade. I think this is the first print of the trade. In the trade, it's got a lot of sketch work and stuff like that. And there's a great introduction by Damon Lindelof in there too that I recommend you take Richard, the time to read.
After you review it, post it on the Comic Character of the Day page. Page. Post there so we can all chime in on it.
Yeah.
And Tim, you just happened to just pick this up one day. You had no prior knowledge of it.
Yeah, so
you just grabbed the trade.
So I bought this years ago. I think it was 2012. Something like that, or 2013, somewhere in there. And
so
I was
after it had been done, well after it had been created. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bought it at Snake Eyes Comics in Knoxville, Tennessee. And they had this bargain trades section in their store, and I was digging through there. I had $5 left. Like, I had a stack of books and I had $5 left. I was like, if I can't find anything in here, I'm just gonna go. And I saw that and I was like, that looks interesting. I'm gonna pull that out, and took it and read it and fell in love with it. This is a book that I read at least twice a year.
Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's one of the fun things is when you find it, when you uncover a hidden gem.
Brush the dirt off, and there it is.
There it is. Look at this treasure I found.
Yeah. What is this? This is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now let's get to Richard's question, because this falls right in line with what we were talking about.
Right.
So, gentlemen and Sal, you go ahead and give your answer first. Would you guys want to live in a real world DC or Marvel?
Wow. Because as
What do you
much as
think?
I like both, I'm going to go with Marvel. I'm going to go with Marvel.
That's a shock.
I already know which world you're going for, Gary.
Yeah, you already know. Okay.
Yeah.
But
why would you choose Marvel?
I don't know. I think because I grew up with mostly Spider-Man. GL was also important to me when I was growing up. So
would you live in New York City?
Oh, hell yes. I would be the one to be like, oh, there's going to be a fight here. I'm going to be hanging out for the fight. You know?
Oh my God. Gary, we know your answer, so go ahead and tell us why.
Well, yeah, of course it's going to be DC, but here's one thing that's interesting about the two worlds. Now, have both of you read JLA Avengers?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
One of the cool aspects in there when Busick compared the Justice League world and the Avengers world, the Avengers world was slightly smaller. The JLA world was a little bigger, and I think that makes sense when you consider in the DC universe there is a New York City, but there's also Metropolis.
Yeah,
there's also a Gotham. So you need to have a bigger world to have these other big cities that go along with the major cities. Yeah. But it was when the Avengers and the JLA are going at it. They, at one point, each team is on the other's world, and then they come back together.
And they hated it.
Yeah, they gripe, and the Avengers and Cap say to they see that the Justice League is revered and worshipped, and these are the great heroes in the world. And Cap says, "How dare you put yourselves up as gods to these people and have them worship you like this?"
Yeah.
The JLA, who's on the Avengers world, and they see people protesting outside of Avengers Mansion and this and that, and all the gripes and people got. Superman says to them, "What did you do to those people? Why do they hate you?"
Yeah.
So that is a small. This is what makes Busick great, right?
Yeah.
That is a small but brilliant observation, right? Because through the Avengers history, they're always outside protesting outside of Avengers Mansion over whatever crap they've done lately.
That scene, and that goes into that, like where Flash uses the cosmic treadmill, and he goes into Marvel New York City, and what's the first thing he runs into? Torch and pitchforks chasing this mutant kid down for looking different and being different. And Flash is like, "What the hell's going on, man? Come here, I'll protect you. Don't worry about it." And
so you know what? I think I want to live in the DC universe because I think that there's more hope and there's more, there's more hope, and maybe it's more sanitized and all that, and it doesn't have all the real world grit and troubles and grime that the Marvel universe has. And again, I said real world stuff. So the Marvel universe is more real world, but the DC universe is more idealized.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to be. I want to be that's more aspirational. More aspirational world.
So before I give my answer, Gary, what city in DC would you want to live in?
Where's Power Girl located?
Where's Power Girl located at?
Metropolis, maybe? I don't know.
No. You know what? It sure as heck ain't going to be Gotham. It's. I think it's Metropolis.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Metropolis.
Well, Gary, I hope you need a roommate because I'm going to choose DC too.
Let's go, baby.
As much as I love Marvel, and some of my favorite characters are Marvel, I think that I would have a nervous breakdown living in Marvel New York City on a daily basis. I think living in Metropolis in DC would be much better for my mental health, except when Brainiac or Mongol
you know where else to live in DC might be better? Smallville.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Smallville.
Yeah. You live in Smallville.
Might be nice.
Yeah. Let's go to a nice town, Gary. Let's go to Smallville, where there's no superheroes at all. No superheroes live in Smallville.
Lame.
Yeah, I'd have to choose DC.
And again, I just think the DC world is more aspirational as to what we would like the world to be like for the most part. And I also, here's what I also say about DC and Marvel.
Richard's with you, Sal. He's going.
Yes!
Oh, there you go.
So
Richard,
you guys can bunk up in New York City.
Right.
Richard, I'm with you on so many things, brother. But you know what? I just don't want to live in a world with a fellow like Sal that believes the Beast was an X-Men.
Excuse me, Hank McCoy.
Yeah.
You know why? Do you know why there's people protesting at the Avengers Mansion? Because he's not an Avenger.
There we go.
They got big signs saying Beast is an X-Men. They're walking around like this. Beast is an X-Men. Beast is an X-Men.
You're right. They're protesting because Beast is not an Avenger because they put him on the X-Men team and they need to come back home.
The debate that never ends,
Sal,
ladies
you are
and gentlemen.
100% correct.
My
Out of his
Lord.
words, he said they're protesting because the Beast is not an Avenger. Sal, you've done my work for me. Thank you. That is so succinct.
But that's proving my point.
Ladies and
not an
gentlemen.
Avenger. There's people outside Avengers Mansion saying he's not an Avenger.
And we
Ladies
need
and
to have an
gentlemen.
Avenger again.
If you need to see this debate,
We're gonna throw down. We're gonna throw down. Gary.
if you need to see this debate in its entirety, this weekend, Sal and Gary's long-awaited top 10 reasons why Beast is or isn't an X-Man or Avenger comes out on the 8th. Check it out. You will love it.
Wait till you see the thumbnails.
Wow, you and Richard are not going to live well together.
There we go.
He's moving to DC now.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's all right.
That's wonderful.
Listen,
I'm confident in my decision, and I'm going to stick with it.
Listen, it's okay. The captain went down with the Titanic too. I think that there's value in that.
Oh my God!
So I sent Jamie some thumbnails.
Did you see some slabs? God?
Let me tell you about the thumbnails.
Okay.
So he wanted thumbnails of the Beast as an X-Men and as an Avenger. And I sent him 3 of the saddest looking covers where he's an X-Man, where he's in despair. And I sent him 3 happy covers as an Avenger.
See, Jamie didn't ask me for any thumbnails.
No,
maybe
well,
you should
what?
send them to himself.
That's because he's showing his bias on which side of the argument he's on.
Oh my
I know.
God. Ladies and
fine.
gentlemen, this debate will never end, but unfortunately, do you know what has to come to an end?
Oh man, no.
This episode of the podcast.
Well, hey, Richard, Metropolis is the bigger city. Me and Tim, all 3 of us will be roomies, buddy.
Yeah.
It'll be great. It'll be fantastic.
We'll talk about how Marvel New York is a dangerous place, but Sal's a brave man.
We'll be reading an issue of Venom versus Carnage, and we'll see Sal the Slab
running like this,
mutilated right between the 2 of them, and we'll go, "Oh man, we love Sal. Why did you do that to Sal?"
Richard says, "Sounds awesome." Right on.
If I'm in the Marvel universe, I'm taking it over in like 10 minutes.
Done. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Codex Podcast. It has been our pleasure to entertain you for an hour and 12 minutes. We love doing this every single day, and we enjoy so much more that you are sitting here spending time with us and allowing us into your homes or bathrooms, wherever you're watching.
Richard, great question, too. Great question, Richard.
Oh, does he have another one? Let me take a look here. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, the question that we just answered.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that's what I meant.
There we go.
Universe. That was a great question.
Richard, thank you. Greg, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you made it this far, please do us a favor. Go ahead and give us a like, share, subscribe, or follow. We got something we want to give to you. Gary, what would that be?
Oh, man, for y'all that don't know and y'all that can't tell, we hit the Codex Station, all the hosts. We have all the socials, and we would love nothing better than to give them to you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, at the Codex Station, where we're live streaming right now. Please hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow, so you don't miss content like this all the time, every time. Sal, tomorrow night is Comic Character of the Week. Gary said it in the beginning. Let us know, who's the character. What's it going to be?
Well, look at that. Gary's got the character right there. It's Sergeant Rocket, Easy Company, coming at you tomorrow night.
And what's the anniversary, Sal? Tell them why.
Oh, the anniversary of it's the 80th anniversary of D-Day, a very historical, important event in Earth history.
In our history,
not just American history. but all of Earth history, I'm going to say,
That's
because this was a very epic moment, and much love and respect has to be given out or shout out to those veterans.
Yeah.
My dad was a World War II vet. He was in the Navy. He was in the Pacific Theater. And actually, Gary, I want you to stick around because I got something I want to show you. I can show you tomorrow night too, or I can show you tonight.
I'll stick around. The Greatest Generation. You were right, and your dad was one of them, Sal. God bless him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike Harbor is going to be joining us on tomorrow night's episode as well.
My best friend will be here for it. Special guest. Thank you.
Yes, Tim. Absolutely. Good guy. Good guy.
So it's going to be.
There we go. Gary, you want to add anything to that?
What I want to add is this is another reason why I appreciate all y'all at the Codex station. I asked y'all about this a couple months ago when I realized that this week's episode would be on the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and I wanted to do something really special. And yeah, I know we're talking about a comic book character, but we're talking about a comic book character that ties into, you know, D-Day and ties into
real world history
and women. Right. So yes, it's a fictional character, but he's representative of so many heroes that did serve for us. So I just think it's wonderful that y'all were full steam ahead on board on this, and that you're bringing in, like I said, my buddy Mike, who, you know, his Sergeant Rock knowledge is outstanding. So we'll have him on there. And so I just think this is one of the great things that this station does, this channel does, is we can take a deep dive. We can talk about Sergeant Rock on such an important day, and we can talk about how important that day is and what it means. You know, when Sal was talking about his dad, I could feel it. I could feel the pride that's just emanating from him. And I've always talked about these issues very much, that, you know, I'm thankful for, you know, for our servicemen and women who have sacrificed for us. And, you know, we just had Memorial Day, and those are that honors the ones that had made the ultimate sacrifice. These men and women that died for us. So I just, again, so I appreciate y'all and having this platform where we can talk about a character like Sergeant Rock, and we can talk about the greatest generation that saved the world. You talk about heroes. We talk about heroes on this show and villains. The greatest generation saved the world.
Yeah, 110%.
Tim, are you on this show tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow night. I'm spending all day reading Sergeant Rock.
Do it.
That's a good way to end D-Day.
Damn right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim the Terrible. This beautiful man over here, Sal the Slab Guy. Down below is the curator of the Library of Comics, Uncle Gary himself. This is the Codex Podcast, episode number 113, Nostalgic 80s, and we will see you next time.
Shout out, Sonny. Get better, buddy. I miss you.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see Sonny next week. But before we see Sonny next week, I need 2 words. Do
you want Sonny's gaping holes, or do you want some other gaping holes?
Oh, God almighty, I don't know. I'll think about it.
Wait. In the random panel of the day, do you think there were gaping holes there?
There might have been.
Maybe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. We love you. We'll see you next week.